I love Nintendo and their games, even though they can fumble a lot of the times. Like, sorry, but making you pay for online play like every other console these days is a thumbs down. But we're not looking at the Switch or any of its games today. More so a sort of infamous remake on its prior handheld, the 3DS. The Luigi's Mansion remake. Luigi's Mansion originally was a launch title for the GameCube back in 2001. It wasn't received terribly back in the day, but over time, Luigi's Mansion got more and more appreciation. Today, it's a cult hit and has 2 sequels. I have Luigi's Mansion 3 on Switch and I love it. And I had Luigi's Mansion 2 like a few times, but the first time I lost a game card with my first ever 3DS, and the second time around my fourth 3DS one, just decided to break one of those shoulder things. Then the screen turned red. It hurts even more because I bought Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon in the eShop, meaning that was gone too. To this day, I have not bought another copy. The remake on 3DS, it released in 2018. Nintendo, why? The Switch was out for months, so why not put it on Switch? Hell, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is coming to Switch this year, so why? Why put it on 3DS? My only guess is that it was already deep in development before the Switch, but the Switch was like released in 2017, and I know game development takes time, but they took Breath of the Wild, a game originally for the Wii U, on Switch the same day. Either way, Luigi's Mansion should have been put on Switch because as it is, the controls are fine, they're usable. Man, I wish I just played with a second stick like in Luigi's Mansion on GameCube and 3. I don't remember a lot of Luigi's Mansion 2, but I do remember having a different control scheme, but still having better controls than this remake. With all that history and talking about my own experience with the franchise, let's talk about the first game on 3DS. Luigi's Mansion starts with Luigi walking up to a mansion he won in a contest he didn't even enter. This bit has become really iconic over the years because it's just so funny. Luigi goes in, finds a key, and goes into a room only to find a ghost and Egad. After meeting Egad, you return to his science lair. Luigi finds out Mario walked into the mansion before Luigi, but never returned. It's up to Luigi to find and get his brother back, with the Poltergust 3000, a thing to vacuum ghosts. Egad is a pretty charming character, talking gibberish and, well, that's kind of it. After some training with Egad, you go back into the mansion and back into the same room, but this time you are prepared to bust some ghosts. Also, Egad from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon interferes and sends Luigi to the past. Luigi was and is a second playable character and mechanic in Luigi's Mansion 3, and the game was partly designed around Luigi needing to use him. Luigi in Luigi's Mansion 1 though is a whole other case. I have seen footage and oh my lord, the frame rate goes low, like low. Luckily, I never played multiplayer in Luigi's Mansion 1. Overall, busting ghosts is pretty fun, even on the 3DS, and it's just satisfying to suck a ghost and capturing them. You have all sorts of ghosts, like your standard ghosts, banana ghosts, ghosts that will hug you from behind, and big ghosts. They're not the greatest enemies ever in a game, but their designs are simple but effective. There are also portrait ghosts, unique ghosts that are here to let you have more challenge for progression. I guess. They're charming like the rest of the things in the mansion. They're not anything breathtaking, but they're fun to deal with. You can also look up their backstory in the gallery, which is nice, I suppose. Some darker than others. The ghost called P, who's 7 years old, died in her sleep. And Van Gogh is a failing artist and is a obvious reference to Vincent van Gogh, a painter who committed suicide because of his depression and loneliness. And then you have Neville just reading his books and Biff Atlas working out. In Area 2, you accidentally, well, not really, because you need to unleash the boost to progress, but in the game you accidentally release every Boo, including King Boo, the main antagonist of the game, and its subsequent sequels. Capturing Boos is fun to do until their health go up to 200 and 300. They're not limited in movement by your vacuum. They can move wherever they want, so when their health is 300, they go from room to room and then go back to the same room over and over again. It's frustrating. King Boo's design is pretty great. Black eyes and giant tongue is a great combo. And then you have the boss ghosts. Chauncey, the baby, who's a pretty fun but easy first boss. Bogmire, who's kind of a special ghost as he's a portrait ghost, but he's not humanoid. He's a product of the mansion's fear and despair itself. Pretty interesting backstory. His boss fight is better than Chauncey, but the only thing you need to do is take a shadow replica of him, suck him up till he transforms in a ball, shoot him up at the purple looking Bogmire and suck him up too. Hints and repeats. Boo losses is just a lot of boos combined. It's pretty easy up until there's a few boos left where they just do nothing except run away. It's annoying. Then there's King Boo. He's the best boss of the game, and he's pretty fun. He's controlling a doll version of Bowser, and you need to hit his head with one of the spike balls he throws at you. The boss ghosts are maybe not the greatest video game bosses, but they're good nonetheless. Last thing I want to talk about is the game's personality. Luigi before this was just Green Mario. Luigi's Mansion, however, has done so much for the character and has made him the appreciated icon he is today. All in all, this and its sequels are some of my favorite games, and anyone who hasn't played them should play them.